Hey everybody, welcome back. If you're new, my name is Chris and it's time for another purchase or pass video. I try to do these once a month. Fragrances that are new, release, talked about, trending, hyped. I try to get my hands on samples and decants of those fragrances and let you guys know what I think of those perfumes and if I would purchase or pass on them. I have another grouping of perfumes that fit that category, and before I get started, if you have any fragrances that you know of that are hyped or newly released and you want me to talk about them in the next purchase or pass, let me know in the comments below. And with that, I'm just gonna get started. I'm gonna start with another Gritti perfume. I have two Gritti perfumes, but it seems like the ones that are really hyped in the community haven't really been up my alley so far, so I have two more in this little grouping. Let's get this phone turned off, shall we? The first one is Tutu. I tell you what, I'm really loving Scent Split right now. I get all sizes of samples, but with Scent Split, you can get like they have a huge category, or they have a huge variety of sizes, samples, and travel sizes that you can get, and I've been really loving those. The first one is Tutu by Gritti. This was another perfume I was really excited about, another kind of like a musky floral. I think this has coconut, apple. Let me check the notes. Okay, so this does have coconut, apple, grapefruit, heliotrope, some florals, raspberry, vanilla, musk, and amber. And I mean, that's my territory. I was all over. I thought this was going to be right up my alley, and it just fell short for me again. There is something in this line of perfumes, those bottles, the tall, slender one, really pretty bottles, that just doesn't work for me. Let me take that back. It's not that it doesn't work for me. It's just for a $200 perfume. Actually, I think this is around, what is that? $260. You've got to be up there. You've got to blow my mind if I'm going to buy this perfume. And I would say it's nice, but it does not blow my mind. It is a musky, fruity amber. So I get a lot of musk, I get a lot of fruits, and I do get amber in the dry down. I get a lot of this bright citrus, so it's probably the grapefruit. I get a lot of grapefruit, maybe it's a little bit of apple. I don't get any coconut. I get a sparkly raspberry and like an ambery musk in the dry down. So I would call it a light, fresh gourmand. It's very pleasant. It's light and fresh and definitely a gourmand. It's not rich and deep. And the amber gives it some depth, some darkness, but it still is on the light side. It has a slight kind of a little bit of a body spray or shampoo-y vibe, and those are all very pleasant. I find those pleasant, but for me to purchase a $260 perfume, it has to really kind of blow my mind. And so Tutu didn't quite blow my tutu up. So that is going to be a pass for me. Okay, the next one kind of makes me sad. The next one is Minnie Mouse by the House of Sillage. I have tons of bottles from that house, and I love the bottles. I'm not gonna lie. The bottles are beautiful and they're works of art. And I do have Mickey. And Mickey, I'm not head over heels in love with Mickey. It's cute, but the scent is good. I like the scent a lot. It's a really good scent for the summer and hot weather. And the bottle of Minnie, however, I'll put the bottle up, is adorable. I love the bottle, and it's kind of drooling over it from the bottle alone, even though I'm not one of those kind of die-hard Disney fans. I mean, if you know, you know, like you got married or had your honeymoon at Disney. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's just not me. Anyways, moving on. So I really wanted to love Minnie, and I was not going to blind buy. That bottle is really expensive. I think it's like $3.90, $3.95. No way I was gonna blind buy. You guys, blind buying is a terrible idea, even for us content creators. Should only be done in rare circumstances, particularly at that price point. I'm trying to avoid the direct sun. I've said time and time again, do not blind buy, and yet people do it all the time and then DM me and say, I blind bought this perfume and it was terrible. You certainly shouldn't blind buy really expensive perfumes. You're just asking to be disappointed. And I am human and I slip up every once in a while, but I have held firm not blind buying this because I just didn't want an expensive disaster on my hands. And it was really hard to get. Now I will have to give it to the House of Sillage. They do a phenomenal job with their discovery sets. I think every single perfume they offer is in a discovery set. You do not have to blind buy a House of Sillage. And if it comes down to, and frankly, if it comes down to you have to blind buy because you can't buy the sample, then just don't blind buy. Move on to another perfume. There's always another perfume out there, trust me. Anyways, I finally tracked down the discovery set, even though I have 50% of what's the discovery set. It's Mickey Mouse and Minnie Mouse. And even though I really, really enjoy the fragrance, there's no need for me to get it out of here. Even though I really enjoy the fragrance, I went back and forth. It just wasn't worth the full bottle purchase. Now, if I was a die-hard Mickey Mouse fan and I didn't have a huge collection and I have a ton of raspberry perfumes that I love and I'm planning on doing a raspberry centered video, I might get it because it's a strong light. The notes are vanilla, marshmallow, raspberry, like a whipped cream or a Chantilly cream. Again, these are notes that I'm all about. It was a like, but it wasn't a love. And at this point, I think I've said before, for me to purchase something, for me to welcome something into my perfume family, it's got to be a strong like or a love, particularly at the price point, and it wasn't. It's a lovely perfume, and I can see how it could be a love for many. It just fell a little bit short of that. If it was half the price with that bottle, I'd probably purchase it. I found it very light, somewhere in between a kind of like a vanilla milk and a raspberry chapstick, and that's in a good way. It smelled nice, it was linear and lovely, but that one sadly will not be joining my collection unless someone wants to sell it secondhand at a huge discount. I would probably consider it. So Minnie won't be joining me in the near future. The next one is a Caramel Vanilla, and if you are new to my channel, welcome, thank you for joining me. And I'm a huge gourmand lover. I love vanilla. Vanilla is one of my favorite notes. And you know, you add caramel, vanilla, anything like that, cotton candy, I'm all over it. Gonna take a hard look at. So I took a hard look at Carmelo Vanilla, another little decant from Scent Split. So this has notes of dulce de leche, caramel, vanilla, cotton candy, and tonka. So a very good perfume. This is quite delicious. However, it smells way too similar to other milky, caramely vanilla perfumes that I already own. For example, Escapade Gourmand, Bianco Latte, Madeira. I own all of those and they're all very similar. So even though this is quite lovely, it will not be joining my family. And if you have any or all of those, I think this would be extremely redundant, and the price is $175 for a 50 ml bottle, so that's $350 for a 100 ml bottle. And I actually thought the performance wasn't great, was not stellar, so another no from me, gosh. So fair warning, there aren't a lot of yeses or purchases in this group. The next one is, what am I gonna go with? Oh, so the next one is by Fragrance Du Bois. It is called Lovers. And I love the House of Fragrance Du Bois, particularly, I'm gonna wet my whistle here. Ooh. Particularly maybe 3 years ago when they had this slew of releases that I absolutely loved. A lot of their new releases just haven't been ones that I was loving or dying to have in my collection, even though I do have several. So I was really looking forward to Lovers. So Lovers, and I bought 3, I gave this one a good chance. I bought 3 samples. I kept trying this, but this is really a rose, saffron, patchouli, woody perfume. And even though it is lovely for that category, I think I'm kind of not there right now. I really liked rose, patchouli, saffron-y combos like 3 years ago. That's when I was wearing them. I'm just not there right now. It's a lovely perfume. The rose is pretty. It's not screechy. It's not overwhelming. There's a little bit of fruitiness in there. I do get a lot of saffron. It's very saffron forward. You know, it smells leathery, and that's usually what saffron can, that's probably the saffron. I do smell some woods in there, and I definitely get patchouli. So it is a well-made perfume. It's just not something I'm reaching for right now, and not something I know I will be wearing. So Lovers will not be joining my collection in the near future, even though it is a well done perfume for what it is. Okay, the next one I thought I was going to love, as demonstrated by the size of the decant that I purchased on Scent Split. I thought I was gonna love this perfume, so I bought the big one. And based on notes, so the notes are, so we've got melon, citruses, see if you can figure out what it is before I say. Apple, Chantilly cream, that's all I wrote down. I enjoy many by Gritti. This line in general, I don't think is for me. I have Duquesa and love it. Duquesa is a beautiful perfume. And I have Mon Ami, which is a gorgeous perfume I bought while I was in Venice, Italy last year. So this one is a fruity perfume. It has a lot of fruits, musk. It's very clean. It is a fresh fruity. So if you like fruity freshies, you may very well like this. I really wanted a fruit with cream, fruit with whipped cream. And I thought melon would add like a nice sweet fruit, a little sweet fruitiness that wasn't too citrusy or sharp. I just spent an entire summer wearing fruity freshies that I loved. So I wanted something a little bit more gourmand, a little bit more vanilla, a little bit more creamy to kind of transition me into the fall, because that's the kind of fruity perfume I want to wear in the colder months. And this just wasn't it. It's a pretty fruity freshy with some vanilla and cream, but the fruits and the citruses and the musk really won out for me, or that's what pulled on me. I didn't get any melon. I really didn't get the vanilla. I didn't get any Chantilly cream. I got a lot of fresh, lovely fresh fruits. So it did kind of come off very clean, fresh body wash, shampoo-y, very, very nice. Again, just wasn't what I was looking for, particularly as we're moving into the colder months. And it was very, very light wearing on me, very light wearing. So I almost said I was going to enjoy my decant. You know what? I'll probably just sell this on Mercari for someone else to get, because even though it's lovely, I know myself and I know I'm not going to be reaching for it in the near future. And again, a full bottle of this is $200, so Chantilly will be a pass. The next one is getting a ton of hype right now. It is called Burberry Goddess. It's been all over social media, and I fortunately live 5 minutes from a Sephora, so every time I'm coming back from the grocery store or an exercise class or the mailbox or my P.O. box, I always stop into Sephora because it's right around all those things. So I wore Burberry Goddess on 3 separate occasions, and I really coated myself. The first time I only sprayed like 3 to 5 times, and I couldn't smell anything. And I thought, I didn't give it justice. I need to go back and really coat myself. So the next 2 times, I counted my sprays. I was 10 to 15 sprays. It is a lovely, subdued, vanilla, understated vanilla lavender perfume, and the vanilla in here is gorgeous, and it is a sweet vanilla, but it's not overly gourmand and it's not foody. So it's a great vanilla for people who do not want to smell like food. The vanilla is again sweet and fluffy and soft and absolutely gorgeous. And even though I loved the way it smelled, and trust me, I had to really kind of lift my arm up or lift my clothes up because I sprayed my clothes too. It just was a whisper on me. It was so quiet. So when I would really kind of dig my nose in there and smell it, it smelled delicious. But I just don't think I'm going to be getting it because, well, number one, it just wore too lightly on me. And number two, I love vanilla, and I have dozens and dozens and dozens of vanilla heavy perfumes. I just mentioned 3 that I have. I have Bianca Latte, I have Escapade Gourmand, and I have Madeira. Those are just 3 of the many, many, many I have. So I know poor Burberry Goddess, even as gorgeous as it is going to get lost in the shuffle. However, I do think it is a spectacular, easy reach, universally friendly, and somewhat safe vanilla. If you have a smaller collection, or if you're just getting into perfumes and you don't have a lot of vanilla perfumes and you're looking for a vanilla fragrance that isn't too gourmand, isn't too foody, and you could kind of wear in lots of different circumstances, including work, I think it is fabulous. And if I was just starting my perfume journey and my collection, it would absolutely be a part of my fragrance collection. But because I'm not there anymore, I'm well past that, Burberry Goddess for right now is going to be a pass. The last one is one called Narco Oasis, and I bought 4 little crappy Lucky Scent decants and put them into 2 separate atomizers. So this is my second one. I wanted to give it a good wear before I decided. And this one, I had a feeling I probably, or I thought I was gonna love. And it is the newest release by the brand, and it is so I wrote the notes down. There's passion fruit. So we have passion fruit, black currant, peach, vanilla, brown sugar, and vanilla bean. And unlike Chantilly, this is a full-on gourmand. There's no mistaking. This is a fruity gourmand. I get peach, I get black currant, I get passion fruit, and I definitely get vanilla or vanilla cream, something very creamy, something very vanillic. It's really what I am looking for as we move into the colder months. This is the type of fruity perfume that I love to wear when it's cold. I actually think this would do just fine in the summertime, anywhere air conditioned or at night, and it's going to be a really, really good perfume to wear in the cold months. It had really good performance. It's very decadent. It's sweet, slightly tart, but it has enough of that vanilla to kind of offset it. So it's not a fruity freshie. A lot of people do not like to wear a fruity freshie. This is not a fruity freshie. This is a vanillic fruity. So this is a probable, yes, I'm gonna say this is a strong maybe. And I think I'm just gonna, I lied, I have one more. I don't have the little decant because I'm all done with it, but it is the newest release by Gucci Bloom Intense, I think. I really enjoyed the original. I have a really, really good friend. That was her signature scent. I loved it so much on her that I bought a flanker, and I bought Gucci Bloom Ambrosia de Fiore, I think, and that one I really, really enjoy. Love to wear it in the spring and summer. And so I thought there was going to be a pretty good chance that I would really enjoy this new flanker, and it just did not wear well on me. I'm so glad another one I didn't blind buy. So it pulls, it has, you know, white flowers like the original. It pulls very heavy on the jasmine, and it's the type of jasmine that's very animalic. It kind of smelled like pee-pee on me. Now, that didn't last forever. That was only about a half an hour, but it just, that was a big no-no. And it also had, I think there's oak moss in here, and there was just something very, it was dark, and it was damp, and it was earthy. Maybe there's vetiver. It just wasn't the happy, really full-on white floral that the other flankers in the original are. So even though I'm sure it's lovely for lots of people, I'm gonna stick with my Ambrosia de Fiore for now, and will be passing on Gucci Bloom Intense. That was it, my purchaser pass for the month of August, and I made it just in time because it is August 31st. Tomorrow is September 1st. I cannot believe it. So again, if you have any perfumes that you want me to show in the next purchase or pass, let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for stopping by. Thanks for clicking on my thumbnail. Thanks to all of you who are supporting my channel or subscribed. Always give me a like, leave comments below. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to me, and I really appreciate it. And with that, I will see you on the next one.